wet markets reopen in Wuhan
Yeah.
is a big headline at the moment. And I like the one from the uh, Townsville Times, which is wet markets in Wuhan reopen, crayfish sold.
Is that all they're selling, crayfish, or like is it just going to start off slow and then get back to like penguins and sort of like dinosaur type animals that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy they're reopened, but this was what I was trying to attach to the previous headline article about the black people being banned, which is, fucking crazy. But you can't tell me that previously, with identity politics and stuff, before this crisis, that you wouldn't be called racist if you said that the wet markets in China are dangerous. Don't you think?
Yeah, you would have been, because it's culinary shaming.
Yeah.
It's like going, oh, you don't eat like a rabbit's foot. You don't do that.
You eat
Like it's like,
normal food.
yeah, it's like I like a rabbit foot is what I'm keen to eat, a reptile with a headache
Yeah.
or whatever. Eating a sick animal, because the animal has to be sick and shit to spread it. Like, so it means there's like an animal coughing. Like I didn't even know dogs could get the flu until recently. Like I've never seen a dog with a head cold, or do you know what I mean?
A reptile with a headache. Someone must have ate a bat with a headache
Yeah, that
at some
bat was
point.
going, fuck.
Yeah, the bat was like, oh, I'm not feeling well. And then it got eaten. I mean, it's a horrible day for the bat.
Either that or the bat was sick as hell, just real sick, like with the flu, hanging in a tree, eating a peach or something that's rotting, and then it just shit out of its sick ass onto like another sick animal, and then that animal like rooted a pangolin or whatever,
Mm.
and it's just all this dirty stuff, and then it's all like in the same cage, all mixing around in a petri dish.
And then someone comes up and buys it, and that's his citizen zero or whatever, patient zero.
Patient zero is just like, whoa, I did not know this would happen today. I'd just love to see what his day was like before he ate that thing. Like,
Well,
what part of him would have been like, I wonder if this will start a global pandemic dinner.
I definitely don't think he was like, oh, is this the one that starts the global pandemic? But I
Hmm.
mean, it's not the first global. Well, the other pandemics that have been created from wet markets didn't go global, did they?
Well, SARS was like, that was sort of, I remember at the time, was sort of a joke, pretty much. Like in the West, it was like, oh, I've got a drink, I've got a can of SARS. So, like they're all named after drinks, Corona, SARS, like all that. They're all like funny. It's like, I've got a
Yeah.
SARS. Oh, it's my favorite drink.
Yeah, there was a lot of jokes in comedy clubs and crap about SARS. I think there'll be less so about Corona.
Yeah, I mean, up until a month ago, you could dance around with that.
Yeah, when the global economy shut down and people started dying by the tens of thousands, it was like get us a Corona, mate. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, I'll
yeah,
bring the Coronas.
nah,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. Once you started seeing tradies with surgical masks, it was like, nah, it's not funny anymore, is it? I think that's when it changed from Corona to COVID-19, because COVID-19 was not a term that was bandied about 6 weeks ago.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. I think once you see tradies in high vis wearing a mask, you know it's serious because you know how much shit they're going to cop at the work site
Right.
for being a pussy.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's 2 years of going. Remember, you had your surgical mask. You fucking you coward. Is it because you're a coward? Like, and then he's like, no, no, it's because it's a fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's huge. It's huge. Once I saw like a stop go guy and he had the
yeah,
mask, I was like, we're fucked. Um,
he had a boating, camping, fishing decal on it.
yeah, I love that. The BCF. Boating,
Yeah,
camping, fishing,
on
or
the
the
mark.
Aussie, the Southern Cross, or the Australian flag.
That'll be the new normal next year during flu season.
That's interesting.
There'll be little things on your mask
You
to
think
show that
people
you.
will take the flu way more seriously in Australia and Western countries now?
Oh yeah, like from now on. I remember like people would be fucking coughing and sneezing. I didn't even care, you know?
Yeah. Well, you never considered the flu serious, did you?
No. And yeah,
Shame
and
on
yeah.
you.
I thought you could cure it with a like a hot lemongrass tea.
Yeah. Not this
Like,
one.
no.
One of the things in the wet market article, right, is like, because I was kind of interested in what they're doing differently this time, and they're
Yeah.
trying to, they're like they're testing people as for their temperature as they enter the market. But I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not the problem. Isn't people with the disease shopping at the market? The problem is the market creates respiratory pandemics.
Yeah, it's not it's you don't want to monitor the side effects of the problem where, you know.
No, it's like walking into Fukushima, and before you go in, they're like, "Whoa, whoa, wait! Have you got any radiation?" Oh no,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't. In you go
Into the radiation, go
into
into
the
the radiation.
radiation. We just want to check that you
Yeah.
didn't have any radiation going in, but go into the furnace.
Now that you don't have any radiation, go right into the radiation. Get radiated. Get radiated. Um, yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I wonder if you could how like what are the like say if you close all the wet markets, can you still get a pandemic? Like, have there been any pandemics that have just started from like not mucking around with like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to muck around with a wild animal to start one, or
There's two big. The big question is this that I want to get to, right? Is like, should this is the more like the political question? Should you be allowed? Should you ban cultural practices? Say wet markets are culturally significant to them. My understanding is it's not that popular. It's actually quite, according to something I read, it's a minority of Chinese people that really enjoy these like
I thought it,
exotic wild animals. So should
I
you
thought it
shut
was
down a cultural experience, something of cultural significance if it's at risk of a global pandemic?
yeah.
Because the
Well, if
World
there,
Health Organization is siding with China in saying that the wet markets should continue, but should be like better, cleaner, and better sanitation. And
but it's like if you were like, oh, in my culture, kids are allowed to play around in nuclear reactors, and that's just what they do. And they muck around in the control room and like they press buttons, but it's very like only very small chance that they'll press the right number of buttons in a row to set it off. And you'd be like, yeah, we got to stop that because yeah, it's risky. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to be like,
is
we've
that
got
is that is that how you? So I take it you're not a fan. So, well, there's okay. Like taking it further, I remember seeing this is a long time ago an article that said there's this tradition in it's Danish, I think, Swedish. It's definitely a Nordic thing where dolphins come to shore and people bash them to death.
yeah,
Have you ever seen something like that? It's like they bash these dolphins and there was outcry. Like that's another example. It's like where does culture
yeah,
stop for the greater good of the economy, health, or like the environment, you know?
yeah. I think you've got to stop it.
So you think that culture should be intruded upon
If
if
it's like if it can cause an apocalypse, yeah.
mm,
Not if it can just f your own country up. Like if there was like a country where they just let kids play with like landmines. Actually, there is, but yeah, like if it's funny when your hypothetical is real,
yeah,
but
I
yeah,
don't think they let them play with them. I think that
no, it just
that
happens.
landmines exist and then
Yeah,
sometimes people die.
and I'm against it, and I think they should shut it down if they can. But yeah, but like, yeah, but yeah, I think like if the behavior of a country can cause an apocalypse, it should be stopped.
Right.
Don't you reckon? Like, just it should be
Yeah,
called the
because
apocalypse
it's just funny
precedent.
to me that we live in a world where there's so many hydrogen bombs.
Yeah,
So when America goes shut down the wet markets, should we also, and also, you know, since we're getting into getting into the politics of stopping apocalypses, we're also going to ban, all the bombs we have that could destroy the world 200 and 300 times over. There's
get
something,
rid of.
there's hypocrisy there, I guess.
Well, I guess like if you create a biohazard, it's it's not that great as a weapon, is it? Unless you make your country immune to it before it spreads, you know, like if
Yeah,
America, like if America invented the coronavirus, it would be stupid because
yeah,
it's
yeah. Everyone's been affected by it. And the difference between, say, the nuclear weapons and like a virus at a market is the market is a cultural phenomenon where the virus is an accident and is creating the perfect conditions for it to be created, whereas a nuclear bomb is obviously under strict security control, codes, you know, heavily protected. Everything's designed to stop it from happening. But still,
well, the wet markets would be an analogy would be if you opened up a nuclear site for people to hang out in and just press buttons and sort of just have a field day there
yeah,
and see what happens.
guess at the
Because
code and stuff.
it's just people pressing buttons and they're enjoying it in the same way that I'm sure a wet market's enjoyable. Like you're walking through and you're like, oh, look, it's a penguin that's been strung upside down. Like, how'd they get that? Like, what's its origin story? You know?
One of the things I read about the wet markets is also they have a dog meat festival. And one of these Chinese people expat was saying that that should be banned as well. A dog meat festival. Couldn't see that going down in a Western country. Very popular.
Yeah, no, it's
I reckon
yeah,
more people would protest a dog meat festival. If I held a dog meat festival and tried to organize it, I reckon more people would protest that more violently than if I held a white supremacist rally.
yeah, because only like half the population would be against the white supremacist rally. Whereas like I think dog cruelty unifies people.
Even the racists hate dog cruelty.
Oh, there'd be like those Klansmen people just going like, "What are you doing? You know, like, that's wrong. I love my dog."
You wouldn't want to hold a white supremacist rally and part of the rally was a dog meat festival, was a dog meat exhibition.
No, no, yeah, it would be an outcry from everyone.
Oh fuck. Okay.